This is PNN, the Psychedelic News Network, and I'm Sebastian Coco, your host, as we recap the last week in psychedelic news. In local news, Boulder's Naropa University has announced one of the first psychedelic minor programs in the country. Launching in the fall of 2024, the 12-credit BA Psychedelic Studies minor will be available to all undergraduates and provide students with a humanities and social sciences-oriented approach to studying psychedelics. 6 months after opening, a Magicmushrooms Center in Northeast Portland has become the first to close its doors. The Journey Service Center hoped to provide low-cost mushroom care, relying on a higher volume of clients with a facility equipped to handle 10 clients a day. Unfortunately, this year the center saw only an average of 15 clients a month after the initial boom when centers opened, and owners have decided to sell. A flood of supporters came to a Massachusetts State House public hearing to vocalize to legislators how psychedelics have positively affected their lives. A variety of stories were told by people from all walks of life to the legislative committee, tasked with reviewing the 2024 Massachusetts state ballot. In other Boston news, the MIT Press released an article about the history of the LSD blotter. They credit Eric, quote, Ghost Brown with inventing the first blotter form of LSD when he created sheets of acid disguised as Kodak film, down to a professional-looking graphic that promises, quote, brilliant color, and a mylar wrapping that both protected the psychedelic from harmful UV rays and kept potentially suspicious eyes from looking too closely, as they wouldn't want to open the bag and destroy the undeveloped film. ABC News published an informative and heartbreaking article on hallucinogenic persistent perception disorder, or HPPD, which is a condition that may result in trip, quote, flashbacks and sometimes persistent visual hallucinations or distortions that continue to plague the patient for the rest of their lives. Current studies suggest this condition affects around 5% or less of psychedelic users in some form or fashion, noting it is most prevalent due to the use of LSD, but can occur with other substances as well. Experts and patients alike have noted the lack of research around HPPD and the need for public education on the risk of developing this condition. Finally, Atai Life Sciences has announced positive results for a clinical study that involved the use of intranasal DMT as a medicine for treatment-resistant depression. A single dose of DMT vaporized into the noses of patients showed significant effects, with 55% of patients achieving a clinical response on the day after dosing and 45% of patients in clinical remission by week 12 of the study. Thank you all for watching. This has been the Psychedelic News Network, reporting on March 24th through 31st. Have a great day and an even better trip.